I want to apologize for the bad camera quality. I'm using my laptop, and I thought this was supposed to be like the best camera quality, but these pixels and these little reddish things are terrible. But that's not the reason why I am going live this morning. It is 7:37 a.m. I couldn't sleep. I also been thinking about this gaming channel for about 3.5 months now. It's been probably 4 months since I've made a post or video game. A lot of people have contacted me, and I do appreciate the love. I do appreciate the reaching out. I appreciate it a lot. Trying to see, like, for some reason, I think that's good enough. Okay, you can see me. Where do I start? As many of y'all already know, and I know I sound like super different. Why did it just get like super uber? There's like a fly in here. It just got super. Is it gonna stay this way? This fly is getting on my nerves. Whatever. I'm really starting to hate this camera. It's like I gotta put myself near it in order for it to. It still went back dark. What if I use. I'm just gonna put my camera here to put the light on me. This is so ignorant. In the past 4 months, a lot has been going on. Prior to the 4 months of me starting this live chat, a lot has been going on. I've been trying to remain strong through adversity, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, meritocracy. I loved and I lost. Most of the losses were my fault. And here's why. If you guys remember, if you remember at all, because I know it's been a while, I made a video one time speaking about why I wanted to do this gaming channel, because my purpose for gaming was to escape the anxiety and um, the depressing things in my life. I um I left 4 months ago because I got severely severely down in the dumps. And when I say down in the dumps, I basically mean life got so hard that gaming couldn't be my escape anymore. It got so hard that I started pushing people away. I isolated myself. I cut my hair, and even though I look good with it, it kind of grew back. Like, I cut my hair a month ago, but I was trying to release myself, extinguish myself from the pains of the past. And in the end, I felt like I just lost myself. I felt like there was nothing more to be a part of this world anymore. And to get to that low sucks. A lot of y'all messaged me, and y'all been like the most best. I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm using it anyways. The best supporters ever. Like, I've never had somebody come and track me down from my Instagram and my Facebook to ask me when I'm coming back. And though I just have 45 subscribers, I don't care. Like, it's the best thing when you have those small people and they care. If you are suffering from anxiety, be mild, severe, outrageous, or depression, clinical, major, any other types of depression, please don't take the routes that I've taken. Please don't burn bridges. I know it may feel as though no one truly understands you. I know it may feel as though you're alone in this world. It may feel as though you have two parts of you, maybe three, just pulling inside of you, trying to take control of your body. But think about it. Would you rather have all that happening and then have a support system, or all that happening and you pushing away everyone that matters? Now, for some of the people that I pushed away in my life, it mattered. Some of them I've recently pushed away only because I didn't want them to see me as a nutcase, as someone who can't control themselves. And honestly, I know people have their limits, but with some of the people that I've had in my circle, it kind of showed me who was actually with me and who weren't. Some people, they just left and didn't think twice about it. Some people tried their darn hardest to stay, but because of my persistence and my ignorance and me just feeling alone, I didn't bother keeping them around. Don't make the same mistakes that I did. Don't purposefully put yourself in a position where you're alone. It doesn't help. It only makes things worse. The sad part is, I think I could have had someone that potentially loved me for me, the good, bad, the ugly. But I felt so like I felt so bad that I feel like I didn't deserve them in my life. And I feel like they couldn't or wouldn't be able to handle someone as me. And I started noticing it. So I ended it. But mostly it's like running off of fear. You got two sides battling one another. You have the anxiety side that's worrying way too much till you get burnt out. And then you have the depression side that sometimes filter in afterwards that says, you know what, just don't care anymore. Just lay down and go to sleep. What do you need to go to work for? What do you need to do this for? Just sleep. Now, I know some of y'all are probably gonna sit there and say, well, why don't you go get help? I've had gotten help. I've gone to multiple counselors. I've tried to talk about a lot of things. I'm not to the medical point. I'm just really, really sad. And maybe one day we'll get to that point as to why I'm really, really sad if this page actually stays connected. But I've tried it. A lot of the counselors that I had, some of them meshed with me, some of them didn't. Some of them kind of treated me like there was actually only one counselor, one that I wish my insurance was able to pay for because he was amazing. Like, he was crazy, but something in my eye, something in my eye, something in my eye. Oh my God. Something just got in my eye. Anyways, the counselor was crazy, but he was good crazy. Like he productively like assisted me with handling the stress and anxiety through breathing, through just talking about it. And it was interesting at a point. I felt like I was actually being heard versus how do you feel today? Why do you feel this way? What's going on in your life? Blase, blase this, blase, blase that. Like, he was interesting. He knew, like, he was able to analyze me and understand that I wasn't religious, but I was spiritual. So he was able to connect my spirituality to my mental state. He was able to let me understand that those who are actually crazy are those crazy. Let me do that. Those who are crazy are the ones who are actually more connected to this world to the point that they recognize a lot of wrong and ill doings in this society. Excuse me. It didn't dawn on me that I was that type of person. And it was interesting because my counselor, he was telling me how he had to take Ritalin, some other medication, and he also had anxiety. So to have someone that actually relates to you versus someone who just studies the stuff and then they're just talking to you as though they relate to you, it was interesting. Excuse me. My voice will go in and out, so I do apologize. But for the most part of it, I want people to take care of themselves. That's the hardest thing to do when you're an adult. Like, my birthday was 14 days ago. I couldn't even really enjoy my birthday. I didn't want to enjoy it. And that sucks to admit that you didn't want to enjoy your birthday, all because you were stuck in this cycle of depression. And then you have people that wanted to enjoy your birthday with you, but you just couldn't. And my friends don't understand it. And it sucks because I can't really explain it. It's like I just feel it. So it's when I'm feeling it, that's when you see it. And when you see it, then you're going to look at me like I'm crazy, but whatever. It's been a while since I've gone on live. And I mean, like, live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. It's been a while. I see somebody watching. I don't really know who that is, but hello. I'm sorry if I sound like a grouchy old man. It's literally about to be 8 o'clock and I should technically be asleep right now. But I guess something told me to wake my up because I can't cuss on YouTube because YouTube does these weird little cuss things, cuss word counter thingies, whatever. I think today I just went on live mostly to tell people if you have these illnesses, please get help. I'm working on trying to get help again. Keep people that are close to you if you can. Don't blame yourself for a lot of things that happened. A lot of things that happened were a part of the great divine plan. It wasn't your fault. It had to happen. I think that's the struggle that we have when we have anxiety and depression. We overanalyze an event to the point that we get sick of it. And then when we get depressed, we end up caring but not really caring about the situation, where it's kind of like, all right, it happened, whatever. But deep down in your heart, it's not a whatever. It's like, what could I've done differently? Why did I do this? X, Y, and Z. And I feel like we really shouldn't have to feel like that. I can honestly tell stories of how I got to this point, how I've trusted people, and that trust has led me down a long well of lies, deceit, and abuse. I could tell you how it's been people who have lost faith in me and it's totally and utterly destroyed me because I've done a lot for people. I know this is weird because I'm not the 100% saint that I play myself out to be, but if you were someone that I regarded close to me, or if you were a friend, honestly, I would give you the clothes off my back. I would do any and everything for my friends. And I think that's where I messed up at. I was giving a lot of energy out to people, some that deserved it and some that didn't. And that put me in a position to where at the end I didn't really have anything. And not saying that I was expecting anything because I don't want to get that give that impression to anyone. I was never expecting anything. I was just giving because that's how I was taught, despite what's been wrong, what's happened to you, what's taken place in your life, still have a giving heart, still love people, love them the way in which you want to be loved. I guess at a point it took its toll and it's turned me into a hypermaniac. How the fuck did they say it? Hypermania, something like that. That's I forgot how they say it. It's like hypermanic emotions. So one moment I can be extremely happy, then extremely sad, then I'm over here, then I'm over there. I'm just all over the damn place and no one knows what to do about it. Hence the cutting of the hair. Like this shit was literally like I was stressed and I did a whole ass live. It's on my Facebook. I was just like masking it. Like people kept saying, like, yeah, like, why would you cut all that beautiful hair off and yada yada this and yada yada that? One, I cut it off because a lot of people were attached to my hair. All they cared about was my hair. It's gonna grow back. I know that. But all they cared about was my hair. Two, I was stressed the fuck out. Okay. I was stressed. And honestly, I think that was I wanted to say it was part of me releasing the stress, but it was also part of me just being tired. Like I was at my lowest of my low points, and some of my friends didn't even know, couldn't even tell. They just thought, "Oh, she's cutting her hair for fun. Oh, she's just trying to start her love. She's not gonna really cut her hair." A lot of my friends really didn't think I was gonna cut my hair until the first snip came to the first little twist that I did. I was exhausted. Like at that point, I lost everyone. I really wasn't talking to my best friend at that time. And it only felt like the times in which I talked to my best friend was when she was lonely or when just things in her life was going on. And then at that point, she really wasn't telling me what was truly going on in her life. Then I had friends that I thought that I could come and talk to, and it really wasn't that way. I'm not trying to be a brat. I probably am coming off as a brat, and I do apologize for that. And I get that everyone has their things that's going on, but it's like don't hit me up when you feel good and ready to. And I've been hitting you up trying to see what's going on, how you doing, what you doing, where you at, where you alive for all these years. Like I have friends that I check up on 24/7. The moment I check up on them, they immediately hang up and never call back. I'd rather you tell me to just leave you alone. I'd rather you tell me not to be bothered with you anymore because your actions show it. And I know I should just follow along with it, but I'm rambling. Sorry. This is like really irritating me, this contrast. Like I needed to chill out. Let's see if I can do it this way. It's still like, what do I have to do? Okay, do I sit close to it so that way you can see my melanin? Nope. I don't know what to do. Anyways, I can't even remember the dude's name, but I know he said this quote, and I know it's gonna sound weird, but it has a relevance, I promise. It's better to have loved and lost than to never loved at all. A lot of times, my depression and anxiety has led me to the points where people who claim that they care about me have been pushed away. A lot of times, I've been okay with that, but I think this final time I'm not really okay with it. But you know how you get to that point that it doesn't really matter anymore? Like, that's currently how I'm feeling. I don't know if it's part of me being just like the stubborn side that's like, well, you've already committed the act, just stick with it. Like, if you really cared, you wouldn't have committed the act in the first place. So you gotta suffer the consequences, sis. And you gotta go through that. You gotta smell that. You gotta go and experience that. And if the person who I heard watch this video, I do want to say that I'm sorry. It may not mean much now, but it means a lot to me. So I'm sorry I couldn't be like the stable person. And I'm sorry that I couldn't. I'm sorry that I couldn't tell you what was going on in the beginning. To most of those friends that I cut off, and they're probably scratching their heads and wondering why. I'm sorry I didn't fully disclose what was going on. But this is my truth. I'm a hot mess. Who isn't? I mean, everyone got their little baggage that they carry. Some of them are sorting through it. Some of them just left it straight behind them in their path. And some are like me, confused as to whether to sort it out, leave it, or carry it with you. I'm gonna go ahead and get off. And I'm just gonna say peace, love, and light to most of y'all. Half of y'all, if y'all in the same boat as I am, let's work to get ourselves better. Because a lot of the thoughts that we're having, and you know what thoughts I'm talking about, it's not benefiting us. It's damning us. And it's going to damn the people that care about us. And if we really want people to care about us, we have to open up. So be blessed, have love, have a good faith in your heart, and find your zen. Lexi out.